Hey everyone, welcome back. I just changed some of the numbering on the videos because I forgot that how this book was organized is part 1 and part 2. So there is a chapter 1 in part 2. Just don't want people to get confused. And also, I wonder how you guys are doing so far in following along and reading the book, or following along on my videos, and hope that they've been helpful for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe or share if you would like. So the part 1, chapters 1 through 4 are more about defending Spiritism and some of the theory of contradiction against Spiritism, and it really is a little bit more dry, and so part 2 is a little bit more interesting because it actually gets more into the phenomenon of spirit manifestation. So without further ado, we'll get into it here. So basically, cultures, all indigenous cultures all over the world, basically have beliefs or mythology about spirits interacting with the incarnated or humans, and that's also, of course, recorded in the Bible. And in our age of reason, we must know the why and how of everything, but the fact that this has been recorded for eons as a phenomenon is itself its experiential record of human experience means that there must be something to it, because of the sheer volume of people and of recorded and amount of people that have professed to have experienced spirit contact. Part 1, chapter 1 through 4 also gets into a bit of the physical actions that are more able to be observed by someone who doesn't think spiritually. Then it's getting into a little bit more of the physical manifestations as well here, and it talks about how the perispirit again, that when a spirit leaves a human body, it doesn't leave its appearance completely, that its astral body or spiritual covering looks a lot like a human did in life, by the form by which we knew them during her human life. It says, in my experience, people generally look a little bit younger, so maybe middle age to maybe 40s and 50s max. If they died of old age, maybe around 60s, or they look like they did when they were healthy before they got sick and then declined, at least. Especially if they're more elevated, or they died a natural death, or that they've gotten over their death story or their death state, then they will no longer look like the things that they had suffered in life. And that's also why we need to venerate and elevate them, is to help heal them and get them past that. But that's also a part of what matters to them, and for them to communicate kind of what happened to them, so they know that somebody cares or knows about them. So getting on, if we observe people at the moment of their death, we find that their soul is in a state of confusion. So after someone dies, when they're a spirit, there's a sort of disorientation. So that's why a lot of spirits don't know that they have died or that they're dead. Their perceptions are muddled. They see their bodies, or they see their dead body, but at the same time they see themselves, and they see that they are still living or still existing outside their body. They see the body that was lying there is their body, but they don't understand how they are separate from it. So they sometimes think that they're still alive in the flesh because they get confused. And they have to gain experience of their new state before they can be convinced of its reality. When they have gotten over this first moment of perplexity, they learn to look upon their corpse as an old garment or clothing that they have slipped off, and they are not sorry to be quit of it because they feel lighter, they have dropped a burden, they no longer suffer from physical pains, and they are delighted with power to rise into the atmosphere and glide through space with thought, just as when in their body they have done often in their dreams. And then there's a asterisk and a footnote here about the Spirit's book. We will see that in the dreams that we observed where we are flying, this is like a spirit after death. And our dreams may give us an idea of the state of spirit when freed from the fetters or the prison or the shackles within its fluidic envelope. It's normally invisible to us in its normal state, but is nonetheless material. This inner envelope of the soul, or perispirit, exists also when we are incarnated during our corporeal life. So this is what we would say like our aura or our energy body around us. We have an astral body, not just when we're dreaming, so when we're awake. And this is a go-between or intermediary state and energy around us that interacts with sensations experienced by the spirit, like other people's vibes, etc. And then this acts on our body, our organs, and transmits transmission of thought. And then nervous fluid, which I guess that would be our nerves and acupuncture points and meridians, etc. Our perispirit is a key to a host of physiological and physical problems until now unexplained because it's linked to organs, etc. And we all know how emotions can get stored in different organs and areas in our body and cause disease eventually, or spiritual issues and energies can cause disorders, or it can be used to heal. The perispirit is not a mere hypothesis. Its existence has been revealed by spirits, but is proven by observation, as we shall see further on. For the present, it will be, and not to anticipate facts, which will be brought forward in due time, we confine ourselves to say that whether during our energy body's union with our fleshly body or after it detaches, the soul is never separated from its perispirit. And that gets a little confusing later on, like how you can see a ghost of somebody who can then reincarnate, etc. And that's more described in the Spirit's book. So let's get back to page 53. Meanwhile, they lost their body, but their souls retain their personality, or I would say perispirit. They retain their human form, but a form which neither troubles nor embarrasses them. They retain the consciousness of their self and their individuality. That the perispirit is a link between the soul and the body. It has been said that the spirit is a flame, a spark. This should be understood of the soul, the intellectual and moral principle. So our mind capacity and our goodness or our negativity follows. Perispirit, in proportion to the soul, becomes purer and raises itself higher and higher in the hierarchy of spirits. And so later we'll talk about how, of course, the bad spirits are lower and good spirits are higher. Humans are just above the worst spirits and just below kind of bad spirits, as we're incarnating to kind of purify ourselves in the philosophy of Kardec. The perispirit, therefore, is an integral part of the spirit, as the body is an integral part of a man. But the perispirit alone is no more the spirit than the body alone is the man, because the perispirit does not think. It is to the soul what a body is to a man. It is an agent or an instrument of the soul's action. The form of the perispirit is the human form, as we previously stated. It generally resembles the form of the person that we knew in the flesh. So therefore, it must have molded or copied itself in some way upon the body and has been an impression, but this does not appear to be the case. And that everybody in the world has one. It is common among all humans. Therefore, although the perispirit is similar to a physical body, it is not the same. It yields to the will of the spirit, who can give it any appearance they please for any impossibility. Free from the physical body from which it once was attached to, the perispirit can contract, expand, or transform itself at a moment's will of the spirit. It is through this property of fluidic envelope that the spirit who desires to make himself known when necessary can assume the exact appearance he had in life, and can even show the bodily defects or other peculiarities that may serve to identify them. Spirits, as we have seen, are beings like ourselves. And are invisible to us in our normal state. We say normal state because we shall see that invisibility is not absolute. We have seen tangible apparitions, such as through the influence of certain mediums. We have seen hands appear. So just the hands, with all properties of living hands, hands that were warm, that we can touch, that offers resistance of a solid body, hands that can grasp ours and then vanish like a shadow. The intelligent action of these hands, which by their execution of certain movements obey an intelligent will. They can play music on an instrument, etc., which proves that these hands are portions of an invisible, intelligent being. Their tangibleness, their temperature, in a word, the impression that they make on our senses, for we have seen them leave marks on a person's skin, deal painful blows, or give the gentlest caresses, all prove that they consist of some sort of matter capable of acting on matter. Their instantaneous disappearance proves that the matter is also subtle, and that also has a property like other substances known to us of passing from a solid to a fluidic state, or I guess you could say gas, and vice versa. And this is also why water is really important in Spiritismo and Cruzado, at least, because water is it's a state between gas and a solid, so it's very flexible for spirit transmission. Let's keep going here, down to page 57. Is it not in the most rare gases that industry finds its most powerful motors? Electricity and the force that we're able to harness. Why is it strange to the spirit with their aid of their perispirit should be able to raise a table, especially when we know that they can become visible and tangible and behave like a solid body or an incarnated human at times. However, I'd also like to say that they'd have to be pretty powerful at a certain level, or able to harness an energy source to be able to do some of these manifestations, to do, like, to leave marks on someone or something. They'd have to be drawing from some sort of energy, whether or not that's a human or something in the environment. Either that or be because malevolent spirits can also be very also powerful. You don't have to be a high level spirit to have the amount of energy basically to do something like that. So now we're going to, in next chapter is chapter 2 in the part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't want to make each section too long, and I'll see you guys next time.